I apologize in advance. This video could be pretty sarcastic at times. It could be snarky, it can be a little bit annoying, it can be totally demeaning of my favorite hockey team, because today we are talking about a guy who was one of the biggest quote-unquote locker room cancers in the Vancouver Canucks room this year. Okay, maybe that's kind of exaggerating it a little bit. He wasn't a locker room cancer, folks, don't worry, I'm just kind of joking here. But he was labeled by many as a quote-unquote problem for the Vancouver Canucks in terms of his work ethic and what he displayed on the ice at times and how his relationship with the top-paid player on the team had gone. Today we are talking about recently acquired New York Rangers forward JT Miller. And some incredible stats that make things look so much worse for the Vancouver Canucks and the guy that Miller had beef with. Now, I know you could probably read what exactly it is we're looking at here already. It's on the screen. It's been on the screen for a minute and 15 seconds so far. But this show is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Go out there and check out the first link in the description to save some money on your VPN, get some free months, and support this YouTube channel in the process. Let's take a look at a tweet made by Matthew P. Mugno. This is a clip from the Rangers and Predators game the other day, where JT Miller goes out there, drives the middle, and then throws it over to the side for K'Andre Miller. It's a Miller from Miller goal, folks, and JT gets his 12th point in 10 games as a New York Ranger. Matt's tweet was interesting because Grady goes out there and replies this. This one hurts to tweet. JT Miller has more points, 12, than Elias Pettersson does shots, 8, since the JT Miller trade. Oh boy. Ay. It's his wrist, it's his knee, it's the tendonitis, it's his confidence, it's whatever it is. Elias Pettersson is getting outproduced in points than he has shots by JT Miller. You know, a lot of people will be quick to shut down the quote-unquote Vancouver Canucks traded the wrong guy argument. Oh, they should have kept Miller and they should have traded Pettersson because Miller is a better player and he can score more, and Pettersson is bad and he doesn't do as much and he doesn't shoot and he doesn't score. And, you know, a lot of people will shut that idea down and they'll say, hey, why did they make the Miller trade? It's because Miller is 32, he's going to be really old by the time the contract ends, and who knows how much he's going to be able to produce as he continues aging into 33, 34, 35. Is he going to be a 12-point and 10-game guy next year? Is he going to do that the year after? Is he going to do that the year after that? Elias Pettersson is younger, and he also has had similar highs, so you go with Pettersson, right? That argument exists, and that argument will definitely be present as long as this JT Miller thing keeps on going on. Obviously, you know what's the antidote to those conversations and those discussion points? Pettersson doing well. That's the antidote. We just have to see him play well, and then he'll produce, and then we don't need to talk about JT Miller anymore, right? But the fact that JT Miller has more points than Pettersson does shots is ridiculous. Let's scroll down and read some of these replies here. I thought it was only 5 shots. Talkett's Cheekbones goes out there and says, you just made me count for the 3rd time. Let's look at Elias Pettersson. In the games for Vancouver ever since the JT Miller trade went down, 3 shots against Dallas. Okay, that's great. A shot against Detroit, a shot against Colorado, then shots in 3 games straight against Toronto. Oh, actually, no, that's the 4 Nations. We can skip that. Vegas, okay, 1 shot on goal. LA, 1 shot on goal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah. So they're not including the 4 Nations shots there. 8 shots in however many games since the JT Miller trade. Let's go out there and look at some of the numbers here. So JT, he's been doing very well. very, very extraordinarily well with the New York Rangers. He's turning 32 in just a few weeks here, so happy early birthday to JT Miller, although, to be honest, like, with the amount of times we make videos about this guy still, and the fact that Vancouver Canucks fans still do not stop talking about him, we're probably going to continue making videos up until his birthday actually comes, so yeah, maybe it's a little too early for an early happy birthday, but JT Miller has 12 points in 10 games for the New York Rangers, over a point per game. He is now back on pace for 68 points on the year. I mean, look at the stint ever since the Four Nations. 2 points against Buffalo, 2 points against Pittsburgh, points in Islanders and Leafs games, and then 2 points against the Predators. The guy is absolutely taking control of this New York Rangers team, and he's shooting the puck too. Multiple shots on goal in a whole bunch of these games over here, and if you head over to Elias Pettersson, you will see absolutely nothing. 1 point in his past 10 games. He's a -2, on pace for 49 points. He is not even on pace for 50 points this season. Now, of course, games played, right? 76. He would have been on pace for 50 plus had he played a full 82, but still, that's not the case here, man. Let's do the math. Let's look at the point production here. So, Elias Pettersson, why is it not showing everything? Let's reload the page here. Elias Pettersson, in his games in January and February, because, you know, it's now March. Canucks hadn't played a game in March just yet. Let's take a look at this over here. So, okay, it's not showing me everything, unfortunately. But Elias Pettersson is playing at such a low pace compared to what he is normally expected to produce at in the months of January, February, and hopefully not March. The guy only has 2 points in his last however many games this is. Like, it's ridiculous at this point. We had already spoken yesterday about Pettersson and his confidence and how this might be playing a big issue and stuff, and how everybody has been trying to label out what's the real problem with PD and why is he not producing, etc., etc. I don't know. Man. I don't know. You can come up with your own ideas and try to rationalize it, but nothing is going to fully 100% satisfy a fan base that has been cheering for this $11.6 million superstar the day he came to Vancouver when he was drafted by the team in 2017, 8 years ago. Like, we cheer for this guy. We all want him to do well. I don't think anybody's going out there and expecting or wanting him to do worse. Oh, expecting is a different thing than wanting, right? I think a lot of us are expecting him to play poorly nowadays, considering the track record and what he's been going through on the ice the past few weeks here. The past year, even. It's been really bad. And the best part about this is, for the New York Rangers, I wanted to go out there and talk about just the impact that JT Miller is having on the rest of the team. I mean, take a look at this. Miller's on the second line here with Will Cooley and Mika Zibanejad. You know who has definitely taken a step up in his play since the Miller trade? It's that gosh darn Mika Zibanejad. Let's go over to the first game that New York played after the JT Miller trade. It was this one right here, February 1st against the Boston Bruins. And that's right? February 1st? Yeah, February 1st against the Bruins. Mika Zibanejad gets an assist. Okay. The next game against Vegas, a goal and 2 assists. 3 points. The next game, 2 assists. Next game, pointless. The next game, 2 assists. Skip the Four Nations. Then he's on a point streak right here. Points in 3 straight games. 1 point each in 3 straight games, and then multiple point games in back-to-back games there. He was not producing much before JT Miller was placed on his wing. Look at this. Mika Zibanejad had 2 points in, 8 games played. Then the team traded for Miller. Then Zibanejad got placed with him, and now he's producing like crazy. Mika Zibanejad now has 12 points in his last 10 games and 7 points in his last 5. Like, the moment JT Miller played with Mika, that's when Mika started to produce. Look at this stint right here. 1 point in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games in December. Mika Zibanejad was getting the harsh treatment that Elias Pettersson is getting now. So what happens? They trade for Miller, they play him with Zibby, and now Zibanejad's producing as much as JT Miller is. Like, this was the very first game that JT was playing as a member of the New York Rangers, and that's what started Mika Zibanejad's overall point producing at this stage of his career and in this season. JT Miller, everybody, has gone out there and totally changed the way this New York Rangers team is able to function and the way this team is able to continue doing their business. Elias Pettersson has done the exact opposite, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, how this is getting worse for Elias Pettersson and the JT Miller situation, how the discrepancy, how the difference, how the point producing is so vast that Canucks fans have no choice but to keep on bringing it up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.